to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. First, I would like to welcome all new subscribers. I noticed a couple new people this week on the subscriber list. It's very exciting. Thank you very much for joining us. And I'd like to say thank you to everyone who sticks around and watches my little corner of the internet. My name is Roz, and I live in Lake Country, BC, Canada. Lake Country is located right between Vernon and Kelowna. There are 4 lakes in Lake Country, hence the name. I live with my husband and my 2 children who are 11 and 9, and you will see them at the end of the episode. I filmed quite a bit of our adventures this past Saturday and a bit from the previous Saturday out and about on our quad machines. So hope you stick around for all of that. Today I have What Am I Wearing? Works in Progress, Acquisitions and Stash, Next on My Needles, and some chatter at the end. First up, what am I wearing? Today I am wearing a very large shawl that I would probably consider more of an outerwear shawl, but I got kind of cold. I am recording in the evening tonight, which is very unusual for me, but my weeks have seemed to gotten out of sync. I haven't found my groove in the new schedule yet, and so I'm recording tonight. It is spring here, and it was like, I don't know, 18 degrees Celsius today, so it's not like it was cold. But again, I'm just wearing a t-shirt underneath, so, you know, sometimes a little wool is necessary. This is the Bradway shawl by Shannon Cook, and my notes are just down here, which is why I'm looking down. This lovely set of yarn I got from my in-laws. They did a trip across Canada in 2016, I want to say, 2015, 2016, and they stopped at the McAusland Woolen Mill, and they picked up a variety of colors, and I thought these 3 went really nice together. There's an olive color and a creamy color. It's almost bare, but it's just got a bit of a yellowish tinge to it, and then the brown, which is hard to see, but it is actually more of a variegated, it's not a solid brown. It's got a bit of red in it and a bit of green in it, and I just love it. So nice. This is a very toothy wool, and I did find bits of, a little bit of veg matter and stuff in it. It's definitely very direct from sheep. So hence why I say it's more of an outerwear fabric. I tend not to wear it over just on my bare skin. I tend to wear it over a sweater or something else, and it tends to get a lot more use in the winter. It is also gigantic, and I have trouble styling it. So today I've styled it kind of poncho-ish, so both ends are over here, and I've got one of my little jewel buttons. It's like a threaded leather clasp, so you kind of just poke through some bigger gaps in the knitting, and and there's a metal screw, and you screw it in, and then the leather kind of protects the yarn from the actual touching the metal, and then the point is over here. So it works. I think it works. Often I wear this just in traditional shawl style with the point down my back and it crossed over in front of me, but when I'm out and about, I'm not often able to just kind of hold on to it or tuck it in, and then it ends up sliding around and all that kind of stuff. So I do love this shawl, and it's kind of more of a fancier piece. It's something that I only wear to very certain occasions, but I do love it, and I love that my in-laws bought me the wool for it straight from the mill. And the pattern was so much fun to knit. I really enjoyed the change of all the different textures and colors, and It was super easy and clear. Again, it's Bradway by Shannon Cook, and this is the Woolen Mills 2-ply medium, but it is like a worsted to Aran weight yarn. So, I mean, it worked perfect for this pattern. It's exactly what I intended it to be. And yeah, so there you go. That is that. There are no finished objects this week, but I did get my knitting mojo back. So we're on to whips. My first whip this week is my teal socks. Now I know for the last few episodes, I haven't had much to report and I've just kind of been grumpy about the whole situation. So first up, I'm going to talk about the yarn. The yarn is the Wool Baron. And she is the Wool Baron on Etsy, and she is the Wool Baron on Instagram as well. And this color is called New Recruit, and it's one of her self-striping colorways. It is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon and in a fingering weight yarn. So I bought that at Yarn Okanagan, which is the local knitting event put on by a couple local gals here, one who owns a yarn store and the other one who teaches classes. And so it's a marketplace and classes and get-togethers and all sorts of the usual fun stuff. Hopefully it will be able to happen in some capacity this year. So you've all seen the first sock that I finished. This is a pattern called Vanilla Reversed. I love this one because of the heel. You get the nice stretchy heel. It fits your foot really well. I have a pretty deep instep, so you can see that gets a lot of space in there. Yeah, and that's I just love this color. Love it, love it, love it. So nice. I could just stare at it all day. So that's sock number one. And guys, okay, look at this. Sock number two. It is literally flown off the needles, okay? I've got the heel done, I'm on the leg, like I got one more full repeat and then I'm doing the cuff. Like seriously, considering how long it's taken me to cast this on. And I checked my gauge, I got the right needle size this time, everything is working out as it should be, it fits on my foot. I am so excited for these socks. A, to have them done so I can wear them, and B, I've really enjoyed knitting this colorway. It's been really great. Having the bigger kind of gray swaths and then that bright blue just pops. Just love it. So yeah, my teal socks are well underway. Next up are my twinkle socks. Dun, da, da, da. 2 color work sections done. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe I should flip them around so you don't see the crazy color where the heel goes. So they look a bit floopy, of course, because you should really block your color work. However, I did try both of them on. The color work fits over my foot. It's quite, like for color work, it's quite stretchy. So there's quite a bit of give in there. The ribbing always looks funny when I do it because I do stretchy bind off that I can't remember the name of, but Very Pink Knits has an amazing tutorial and I will link it below along with everything else that I talk about. You'll find links below. And if I miss something, let me know and I'll add it. So the super stretchy bind off, but it is super stretchy and perfect for your leg. I wouldn't do it unless I was doing it on a 1x1 rib. It works really well for that. If I was doing it on another fabric or like a garter stitch or something, I don't know that it would look as nice. But on the 1x1 rib, it looks really nice. And then when it's on your foot, it's nice and loose and not tight, but not floppy when it's actually on your leg. So yeah, those, I just need to do the heel. That is all that is left. So let's go over the details. The pattern is the Sax Point Socks by Andrea Rangel. And the yarn is Gauge Dye Works in the Twinkle colorway. And I did the alternate color work for the Christmas lights. So I do have, somewhere in the bottom here, my leftovers. And I have quite a bit. I think I have one repeat of every color left. So I've got the dark blue, the light blue, the tan, the green, the red, and the pink. So I'll be able to kind of put some little lights into the sock. And that's what I've got left for my heel. I hope that's gonna be enough. I'm sorry if you're hearing background noise. Because it is nighttime, everyone else is home in my house, and my husband is actually downstairs recording right now with his buddy, and my son is listening to a sleep story. So hopefully none of that is coming in too loud. We will see. So getting back to the socks, twinkle socks, so close to being done. But as you can see, I've mostly been knitting on my teal socks. Like seriously, just knocking them out of the park. Last up for works in progress is Cooper's video game mittens. So again, they're hard to see. I hope my lighting's okay. These are, they look really tiny, but they actually stretch a lot. These are the Dream Fingerless Mitts by Marsha Healy. Let's make it look nice. Anyway, I've just finished the cuff and I'm starting on the palm, this is your palm of your hand. And you're doing the thumb part and then just going around. So these are my kind of just pick up and go. I'm at a spot where I gotta knit like 50 rows of the same thing. So hopefully it'll be done soon. Working on such small needles, I'm finding a little bit difficult, and I actually think that I might go up a needle size for the palm. I've only done a couple rounds, but it's feeling a bit tight on the needles, so I might just go up a size and just see how the fabric feels. So those are those, kind of a work in progress, but kind of on hold because I'm loving the socks right now. Up next is acquisitions and stash. So, acquisitions and stash, I have no acquisitions to report. So, that feels pretty good considering I had quite a bit to show you last week. And I have, since this is the first episode I'm doing that's actually filming in April, I have an update on my stash numbers. So in January, I had 69,652 meters. And now with the projects that I have completed, including the stash that I have brought in, I have 69,207 meters. So I am down. Not as much as I think I had hoped, but I am down. My goal is still to get to 62,000 meters instead of 69. I don't know. I'll have to see how that all plays out. I'm feeling like it's a little bit loftier a goal than I had originally thought it was. But you know, if I make myself a couple sweaters, which I'm planning on doing, then it could really cut down on a lot of that. So it's not unheard of that I knit 7,000 meters in a year, but that means that I need to get through all the new yarn that I bought last week as well. Last week was a while ago. You know what I mean. So, I mean, I'm down a bit and I have some plans in the works, a couple bigger projects, so maybe. So comparing what I do have, I have had 348 skeins, and now I have 342.75. So I did use up almost 6 skeins, so that's not bad. I didn't use any bulky or super bulky. I have 15 skeins of each of those. I did use some Aran yarn, but that was only about half a skein. I did use the worsted yarn, and the project I finished was Cooper Sweater. That was a big one. So there was about 5 in there. So I'm down to 62 and a half. In DK, I did use about half a skein there. Sport weight is the same. Fingering weight, I am down about 4 skeins there. And light fingering weight, I am up 4 skeins. So, and lace weight, I'm at the same. I haven't used any lace weight. So the fingering weight, light fingering weight is where I'm up. Everything else was either the same or down. So just need to, get on knitting more socks, knit a couple sweaters for myself. If I knit the husband a sweater, that would get a lot of... Well, I just need to spend more time knitting. And seriously, now that I've got that sock back on the needles, it just flew. I'm just loving it so much. So I need to pick projects where I know I can just go and zoom and knit all the way around and just make it happen. So that is my plan. On to next on my needles. Next on my needles, I'm planning to test knit the Capistrano top by Nicole Kilner, I think that's how you say it. She is a local to me designer, and this is a crocheted top. I know. I haven't talked much about crochet, but I do crochet as well as knit and other things. So this is a crocheted summer top, and she posted it on Instagram, and I have a ball of the same yarn that she used, and I've never tested a crochet pattern before, so I'm super excited. And yeah, so it's out of the Loops and Thread cream cotton. If you remember, in the fall I test knit for Anna of the Bluebird box, a girl's dress that I knit for Taylor, my daughter. And actually we just pulled it out of the closet because it is spring here, so it's time to pull out all the summery stuff. And hopefully it'll fit her pretty good this year. And yeah, but I have one ball left because of course I bought extra because I just wanted to make sure I had enough. So I have a whole ball plus a little bit more, so I have plenty to knit this top. And yeah, I'm excited to test knit a crochet pattern. I'm excited to knit a top for myself. It's a very lacy, open kind of top. And yeah, I'm excited to see how that all works up. And her Instagram handle, I will link it down below, and I'll put it up on the screen, but it's Tied in Knots with a Knots. So it's clever. I always love a clever name. So good job, Nicole. So that's it for that one. And then on to, sorry, I keep looking at my notes. I'm feeling very out of sorts and a little bit giggly because it's late at night. Whew, oh man. You'd think that I had a drink or something, but I did not tonight. On to my next plan. I've decided that with the Loops and Threads tweed that I've showed quite a few weeks ago now, where I have the cream color with the bits specks of brown and black, and I also have the tan color with the same kind of speckle, that I am going to knit the Flax by Tin Can Knits. So this is a pullover, and they have a flax and a flax light. And so between the two of those, you can pretty much knit any gauge you want. You just have to make sure you know what kind of size you're knitting. And yeah, I love their patterns. I knit the Lush cardigan. I knit a couple hats out of theirs. I can't remember what else I've knit of theirs, and their patterns are, straightforward, but have some really cool details. I really want to knit the North Shore. And there's another mountain one that I want to knit. I was born in North Vancouver, so that's also close to my heart. So I'd love to knit that sweater. And yeah, there's lots of fun things from Tin Can Knits. Definitely check out their stuff, especially if you're a beginner. They've got lots of great free basic patterns that really walk you through how to do things. So super awesome. Anyway, back to my sweater. I'm gonna knit the flax. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to include the garter stitch panels down the arm. I think that might be a nice detail just to have something different, and we'll see. We'll see. I gotta swatch, figure out my gauge, all that kind of stuff, do some math. I know that's scary for some of you, but it's not that scary. It's okay. It's pretty straightforward. So with the flax, there's no built-in waist shaping. I do believe they have some short rows for the back, so if you wanted a bit more fabric on the back of your neck, it just helps the front sit a little lower, so it's more of that kind of classic sweater shape, but then it just goes straight down. I'm planning on knitting it with a bit of positive ease, because that's just how I like my sweaters. I like to be able to move and kind of, you know, have some ease in them. It's my style, and I think I will do some ease in the length or the arms, but just do a bracelet length, because I am continually pushing up my sleeves all the time because I'm doing dishes or I'm writing something or whatever, and I just keep pushing up my sleeves. So why bother having a sleeve that goes all the way down, because you just keep pushing it up, and I don't find my hands get cold. So, and if they do, I've got lots of wristers hanging around the house that I could put on too. So there you go. So yes, that's my plan for the flax. So the last thing for next on my needles is a cowl. Also out of this same wool that I am wearing right now. It's the Hill and Dale cowl from Espace Tricot. They are a shop, the yarn shop in Montreal, which is way far away from me, but also in Canada. And I love their patterns. They have really great patterns. They're clear and just simple, yet really interesting looking. The Hill and Dale cowl has some stitch patterns to it, so it's not just straight knitting, but again, it is a worsted weight or Aran weight, that kind of weight yarn. So clearly I don't think that spring is here because I want to knit with all the thick, cozy yarn. But yeah, so the yarn that I'm planning to use for it is the McGoslin Woolen Mills 2-ply medium in turquoise, and it is a very bright turquoise. It's going to be so nice. It's going to be that nice pop of color in the middle of winter. So that is the third thing and the last thing in next on my needles, because, you know, dream knitting is happening. Clearly I am on a sock kick though, so I foresee a foe in my future very quickly. Now, on to the part where I chat with you. As I mentioned earlier, spring is here. It was 25 degrees Celsius here on Saturday, which was a few days ago. It was a wonderful day. It was so nice. It's that first real sunshine that feels like it's just thawing through all the winter that you've built up in your body, and I loved it. I don't like to be too hot, but that was a wonderful, wonderful day. We started off the day up the mountain on our quads, and I've got a bunch of video clips from this past Saturday and a few from the previous Saturday that I will put at the end of this video, along with some fun pictures of what the kids were doing. They're always in the forest. They're always just like doing some creative stuff. They're very resourceful whenever we stop for our lunch break, and they like to have fun in the forest, which doesn't hurt me. It's super exciting, so super fun. So yeah, we went out quadding, and the kids drove for a bit, and we drove around just with them as passengers for the rest of the day, and everybody had a fun day. And we didn't have D&D on Saturday. We had to move it, so we got to go back to our friend's house, the ones we go quadding with, and we had a nice barbecue in their yard. So currently the restrictions are limiting the number of people that you can have over to an outdoor gathering. Restaurants are not open except for on patio areas, and again, only with your family bubble. And yeah, so, but outdoor gatherings at somebody's home, as long as you're staying outside, which of course in 25-degree weather, you can totally just stay outside. We didn't say super late because as soon as the sun goes down here, it is still cold. So, but we had a fun time just sitting around chit-chatting and letting the kids play, and they were exhausted at the end of Saturday. So Sunday we went out for a nice walk in the afternoon and a storm rolled in. We got back to the car just in time, but there was up to 70-kilometer-an-hour wind gusts. So that was a little spring storm that hit, but all in all it was good, and just spent as much time as we could outside this weekend. The last few pictures that I will show in the clips at the end here of the lake are the lake that is just north of our house. So that's Kalmalka Lake, not the one that we can see from our house. So that's the other lake in Lake Country on this side of the big mountain. The 4 lakes are, if you're curious, Wood Lake, Kalmalka Lake, Okanagan Lake, and Duck Lake. So there you go. Those are the 4 lakes. What else have I been doing? I have been reading. I've been reading a ton. My husband got me a Kobo a few years ago, and I read on it all of the time. And I have gotten into reading the Bridgerton collection. I've watched the first season that's out on Netflix of the TV show, and I was like, I need to read these books. And the books, of course, are even better than the show. I stayed up so late last night reading that I finished the second book. They are very enjoyable. They're very light, fun reading. There's definitely some intimate moments if you're not into reading that kind of stuff. You know, it is about how the couples get together and their, you know, sorted relationships. So it's lots of relationship stuff, lots of drama, lots of that kind of stuff. So, but super fun to read. I'm really enjoying them, and I can't wait for the next one to come from the library. That's all I've been reading, and that's all I've been doing is knitting and reading and being outside. So that's a good start to spring, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.